Hello and welcome to our video on Schengen visas to enter Europe. The Schengen Agreement basically consists of two agreements concluded among European states to abolish border controls among the participating countries. The Schengen Visa makes your travel in Europe easier if you require a visa in Europe. Please note that many nationalities such as US citizens, Canadian citizens and Mexican citizens can travel to Europe without applying for a visa in advance. If you do travel without a visa, please note that you may not stay longer than 3 months every half year. And you're not allowed to work, that is, the type of work that requires a work permit. Of course, a business trip is permissible. But if you are, for example, from China, India or South Africa, then you do need a visa. You need a visa even if you live in the United States with a work visa, such as the H-1B or a United States green card. Currently, the following countries participate in the Schengen program: Austria, Belgium, the Czech Republic, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, the Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain and Sweden, not the United Kingdom and Ireland. Depending on your travel plans in Europe, you may still need another visa if you're planning to visit another country that is not part of the Schengen Agreement. For example, if you're planning to visit the United Kingdom, you may need an additional visa to enter the United Kingdom. Here are the Schengen visa requirements. Usually, you must submit original documents. It is still possible, depending on the consulate where you apply, to submit the application for the Schengen visa by mail. However, that is gradually changing. Be prepared to appear in person at the consulate and give your fingerprints at that appointment. Because soon everybody will have to apply for a Schengen visa in person, that might affect your choice of where to apply. Remember that not all countries have consulates close to where you live. If you're planning to visit several Schengen countries, you can apply to the consulate of the country of first entry, basically where you go first, or you can apply at the consulate of the country where you spend the most time. Check which country has a consulate closer by before you apply for the Schengen visa. That might save you a long trip. Also check for the specific requirements, because not all consulates have the same procedure. For the Schengen visa, you must submit the following documentation. 1. A valid passport or travel document. Please make sure that your passport will be valid for at least 3 months after the date you exit the Schengen states. 2. A valid alien resident card or visa for the United States. For example, an H-1B work visa. A B-1, B-2 visa would not be sufficient. And of course, this is only for applicants from the United States. 3. Bank and credit card statements for the past 3 months to show that you have the financial ability to pay for your trip. 4. W-2 forms for the last 2 years showing that you have income. 5. The official travel itinerary with closed dates of travel. That is, there must be a fixed return date to the United States in this case. 6. Health insurance stating that you're covered in case of a medical emergency in the Schengen states for a minimum coverage of 30,000 euros. Oftentimes, your employer has travel insurance for all employees, which may cover such a trip. 7. Reference letters from employers stating your position and salary. If you have your own company, you should have something like a reference letter, for example, from a bank that you do business with, saying that the company is in good standing. 8. Hotel reservation or proof of participation in group travel. If you're invited by a friend or family member, you should submit a letter of invitation, sort of like an affidavit saying that they're inviting you and they're taking care of your expenses while you're visiting them. 9. A completed and signed visa application form for the Schengen visa. 10. A color photograph, 2 by 2 inches, Please note that the picture must be glued onto the application form. Any photographs that are stapled may result in a rejection of the application. 11. The visa fee. It is currently about $93, payable by money order. There are a couple of rules for foreign students who are in the United States on F1 visas and wish to apply for a Schengen visa. They must also submit a valid I-20 form, a letter of reference from an educational institution such as a school, college, or university. That reference should say that you are in good standing, what your major is, and what the expected date of graduation is. Please note, minor children cannot apply for their own visa. Both parents have to appear in person to sign. And for spouses of EU citizens, of European Union citizens, if you are married to a European Union citizen and need to apply for a Schengen visa, please only bring the following documentation. 1. A valid passport or travel document. Please make sure, as before, that your passport is valid for at least 3 months after the date you exit the Schengen states. 2. A completed and signed visa application form for the Schengen visa. 3. One color photograph. Please make sure that the picture is glued onto the application form. Do not staple it to the application form, because then your application may be rejected. 4. Marriage certificate. 5. Prove that the spouse is an EU citizen, such as an EU passport or identification card. The visa is usually issued free of charge to all spouses of EU citizens. Please also note that consulates usually require the above original documents, and the applicant has to provide one set of photocopies of the originals. Once your visa has been processed and approved, the consulate will mail your passport to your residence, and you should provide a prepaid courier envelope, such as FedEx, UPS, or DHL. Once you have your Schengen visa, you may enter one Schengen country and travel freely throughout the Schengen zone. Internal border controls have disappeared. There are no or very few stops and checks. This means that all internal air, road, and train travel is basically like a domestic trip, similar to travel from one United States state, let's say California, to another, such as New York. If you're planning to stay longer than your visa or apply for a work permit in Europe, you usually do it at a local office. For example, in Germany, you go to a nearby office of the Foreigners Administration called Ausländerbehörde. For more information, please check with the embassy of the country that you're planning to visit or call that country's consulate. Thank you.